Alright YouTube, doing another video. Today we're talking about these brand new products from Orbit Irrigation. We have the standalone hose faucet timer. This was Bluetooth only. Can be added, later I'll show you, to a Wi-Fi network. So this is the hose faucet timer with the Wi-Fi hub. So we'll talk first about this one. So when you open it up, that's what you get. This is changed actually. So some regulations made it so that we have to ship these together. So depending on what package you get, yours may already come together. If not, you just plug these in like so, and you get this is the hub. What this does, this creates a bridge basically from your hose faucet timer, which only has Bluetooth in it, to your Wi-Fi network. So this has Bluetooth and Wi-Fi. It talks Bluetooth to the hose faucet timer, Wi-Fi to your router, which gets you out to the internet, gets you all the smart features, just like our underground sprinkler systems. Has automatic rain delays, automatic scheduling. It'll do all that for you if you want it to. The hose faucet timer, like in this box, comes alone. You can run it from your phone, Bluetooth directly. You can set up your programs, run manual programs, all that good stuff. So we're going to go over, first of all, how to set up and program these two together, because there is a little bit of setup involved. It does not ship with batteries. You'll have to put your own batteries in. You just pull this tray out, put two AA batteries in there. The Wi-Fi hub is for an indoor installation only. I'm going to use it outside today just for this demo, just to get things started, to show you how it all works. But you have to plug this in indoors. It is not weatherproof, waterproof, rainproof, pet-proof, anything. It has to go in the house or in the garage, somewhere out of the weather, to protect it. All right. Okay, let's go. So there are instructions, but I'm gonna, typical guy thing, we're gonna skip them. So I'm just gonna go ahead and power this up first and plug this into my extension cord here, sitting on my bucket. So when this powers up, you'll see some lights come on. When it starts blinking blue, that means that it is in Bluetooth pairing mode. So that's how we're going to initially set this up. And I'm going to go ahead and let's put some batteries in here. Make sure you get batteries in right. So when I power this on, this also has the LED indicator. We'll also hear a couple clicks from the hose faucet timer. Those clicks are just to make sure that this valve is closed initially. So we'll put those in. Wait for it to boot up, and it starts to blink blue. There's one click. And there's a second click. So this is valves closed, ready to go. So what we'll do is we'll set this aside for a minute, and we'll go back. Now we need our app. So in the B-hyve app, we're going to create a new account. Create the account. Scroll to the bottom. Read it if you want. Accept. Say accept. All right. This first notification, would you like to be notified of rain delays and watering events on your B-hyve timer? It's cool because it tells you if your system gets turned off and you didn't do it. It will tell you when it's going to rain delay, or if you have it set to suggest rain delays. So we'll say yes for now. Very first device, you have to say yes, this is a new device. So we have some options now. This is new for the app, and we have our traditional indoor-outdoor timer, or not traditional, our original I should say. Then we have the new indoor timer. It's indoor only. It's a WT24, and so now you'll notice we have a hose faucet and a hub separate, but we also have them together. So because we know we're going to set both of them up, we're going to use this one. What it does is it takes us from one to the next one right in sequence. So first we're going to pair the hub. Now it's important to remember that the hub itself doesn't do anything. The hub only connects the hose faucet timer to the internet so that you can control it from anywhere. So we have to set the hub up first, and then we still have to set up the hose faucet timer. So we'll do that. Yes, it's powered on. It found my hub because it's in pairing mode. You can check the back here. These, if you want to look at this really tiny MAC address, it's back there. So yep, that's it. See, that matches. So now the phone's gonna connect to the hub so that it can start to communicate with it. What it's gonna do is the hub's gonna return a list of Wi-Fi networks that it can see. And you're gonna pick your Wi-Fi network. You're gonna need your password. And so these only work on 2.4 gigahertz also. So keep that in mind. It's a 2.4 gigahertz network. And go ahead and put in a password, which I'm not gonna show you, but we'll put in the password. All right, now we have the password input. Now we're going to go next and say connect to the network. So now the phone just told the hub how to connect to my Wi-Fi network. Once it connects, it says, okay, now we can input some address information. I'm going to put in an old address. Doing that because it's cold and rainy and wintry here. I'm going to give this a name. I'm going to give this demo hub 1. Okay. So now I got to this step and it says success. You finished setting up your new device group and hub device. Now let's connect another device that's talking about this, another device. We have to connect the hose faucet timer to the hub now. So we say, let's connect another device. And it says, yes, is your device powered on? Yeah, we got it powered on. Say it is. Now it found it. So right here on the bottom, there's the MAC address. And you can see it's the same MAC address right there. So yep, this matches my device. Next. It's looking for firmware update. So it says in order to ensure the device is up to date as possible, we will do a firmware update before proceeding. So now we're going to do a firmware update on this hose tap timer. Say continue. If your device is already up to date, you won't see that, but chances are there's an update. So go ahead and say yes. So now it's downloading. So now it's installing. The process for iOS is a little bit different. The sequence is a little different in the steps, but the process is the same, I guess. So it will also take you through an update process. Okay, so I just heard the valve click. I heard a click, which means that the hose tap rebooted. So it says it's been updated. It updated the time. So okay. So now we have to choose a device group. Now, because so far on this account, I only have one hub, which is this. A hub creates its own group, and you can have more than one hub. So if your house is really big or your yard's really big, you might need more than one hub to reach all your devices. So you can have one hub in one corner and one hub in another corner, and different devices talking to different hubs. But we only have one so far, and they're right next to each other, so they see each other. So we'll pick those two, say next. So now it can be, so it says success, your device can now communicate with one another. So now let's configure your device. So now what we're going to do is we're going to set a program on here. Say next. Yeah, it says, okay, there's your address. Yeah, we'll use that one. And device name. So we're going to say hose timer 1. So now that it's set up and connected, you'll need to tell the device what zones you have. Well, there's only one zone, but we're going to say continue. And it says, how would you like to program your timer? So we can say smart watering or traditional. Traditional means you set the start times, how long, and everything. Or you could say smart watering and you enter in all your other stuff. We're just going to go traditional for now. So right here, we're going to do a test. And right now we want to take this over and plug it in, because what it's going to do is it's going to calibrate. There's a flow sensor inside here, and you want water running through that or it can't calibrate. So we're going to plug this into the faucet and hook it up and run some water through it to run the calibration. All right, so I hooked that up. Got my app here ready to go. I'm going to turn the water on. Test. Done. Alright, so we ran our test. We got water in the bucket, so now we're going to give it a program name. Let's call it A program. And then we give it a start time. We'll go with 4:45 for today. Say next. Then we tell it how long we want it to run for. So let's say we want it to run for however long, however short. Say next. Now you tell it which days do you want it to water on. You can pick weekdays of the week. You can say even days, odd days, that's calendar days, or an interval. So you can say I want it to run every 2 days, starting with today. Alright, so now it brings us to the home screen, and it says a program will begin watering at 4:45 p.m. today. So now our hose faucet timer is set up. If we want to recalibrate, well, let me show you this actually. So from the home screen, you can connect directly to the hose faucet timer. You don't have to go through Wi-Fi if you want. You can control it via Bluetooth. The app will connect directly to the hose faucet timer. This is required for things like updates. If you want to do some particular programming that maybe you're out of range of Wi-Fi at the moment or whatever, you can do that. Bluetooth mode is between the phone and the timer only. So I want to see, let's come to devices. I can see my two devices now, my hub and my timer. I can come in here. By default, there's a preset runtime for manual watering. I'll show you that. So you can set that to be minutes or even seconds, minimum of 15 seconds. So, okay, so now it has a preset runtime of 15 seconds. So now, when I come back to the home screen, so I can run a manual program by pressing and holding this yellow button. Press and hold till the light turns green, and it will turn on and it will water for 15 seconds. Ooh. And it filled up the bucket. You saw it went up above the batteries. It's sealed. Should be good. Or I want to change that default run time. So I'm going to come back to settings and then devices. That. Change this preset run time. Maybe 20 minutes. Oops. 0 seconds. Now I have a preset run time of 20 minutes. When I press and hold, that'll run for 20 minutes. Okay. Good. All right. Now that we have the hose faucet set up, if we want to, we can change the program. We can come from the home screen or any screen, go to programs. You see a program. We can edit that. We can change how long it's going to run for. We can change the days of the week that we want it to run on. We can give it a budget, Right now it's at 5 minutes. So if we take that down to 50%, we get 50% of 5 minutes. So we're at 2.5. So you can save that. Back to home. So our program will begin watering at 4:45 p.m. Thursday afternoon. That's tomorrow from now. You can see our zone. So on the zone screen, tap zone. You see flow sensor rate. So if we want to recalibrate that, we say test. Done. Let's come back. Still says 8.1 gallons per minute. So you can recalibrate your flow sensor. So let's see. I'm going to go back. Let's go home. Get into my bucket. Now that we have everything connected, I want to show you how to run a manual program from the app. So use the remote control button here. Select the zone. You set how long you want it to run. I don't have enough room for 4 minutes here, but I'm going to show you how to stop a program from running on the timer. So we hit play. It starts running. Now here we can tap this and it will show you how many gallons you're using, what your gallon per minute is currently. Okay, so if we want to, we can tap the stop button in the app, or we just press this yellow button here one time. It blinks yellow and it will stop the program for you there. So you don't have to worry about, you know, if you can't get to the app, or if the program's running and you want it to stop, you can just press that button and it will stop it. Or you can press and hold until it goes green, starts a manual program. It's gonna run. Or you can hit stop right here from the app. Stops it on the timer. From the app, you also have the calendar, so it'll show you the days that it's set to run. We'll have the green dot on them. You can, again, come into your programs. You can set up more programs. You can do a new one. We're not going to do that. We're going to discard it. Or you can edit your existing one. Again, from the zone screen, now you can come in here. If you want to switch it to smart watering, you can turn smart watering on. And you say, it's telling you that you've got 2 programs on it, so say okay. Then you can come into the smart details where you can set up your soil type, plant type, all those things, and that's what will determine what your smart program looks like. We'll turn that back off. Again, you can recalibrate your flow rate at any time. Say you adjust the flow, you can come in here and recalibrate that so that it will tell you the actual the soil moisture is based off of smart watering, but it gives you an idea of what it was. You can adjust it, so if you know it's been pretty wet, you can adjust that as a starting point. Otherwise we assume it's pretty dry or about halfway. And there you go. So now we're going to talk about setting up a second host app timer to this account and onto the same hub. We went out and we bought another host app timer because the first one was so awesome. Thought I want another one of those. So pull it out of the box, put batteries in it, make sure that it turns on. You wait for the click. And there's a second click. So both of these buttons do multiple functions. One of them is to do a factory reset. This one was already set up, so I'm going to do a factory reset on this. To do that, I press this button 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It blinks red. It will reboot. So we're going to do, now that it's been reset, we're going to come into Settings, Devices, and we're going to say add new device, or add a device. And then just say, okay, add a new device. So this is a new device. Because we already have a hub set up, you can say add a hose faucet timer. So yes, it's powered on. And it found the MAC address right there. So yep, this matches my device. So now we have an option. I can connect via Bluetooth or connect via Wi-Fi. So if I only wanted to control this timer via Bluetooth directly, I would choose that. But if I want to add it to my other group so I can control it Wi-Fi, I say connect Wi-Fi. I only have one hub. Say yep, that's it. Okay, now it's connected to that group. Say okay, let's configure it. Yep, same location. We give it a name. It was timer 2. So now that it's connected, it says you can continue set up all that stuff later, but I don't have it hooked up. So I'll just say we'll set that up later. Now it shows up here in my list, but it doesn't have any programs because I did not set it up. So, but I can come in here, I can see that it's set up, and I can come to my home screen, and I can see that my hose timer 2 is set up. It's saying it's not connected, doesn't see it yet, but it's there. I can switch to the 1, and it's there. Switch to the 2. Let's see. Control it via Bluetooth for now. Okay, now I can come into programs. If I tap to set and do modify zone, there's no zone there because I haven't added a zone yet. So we can't create a program. So first we have to come into zones, do edit, add that first zone, done. Now I have a zone. It's zone 1. So I'm going to call this, oops, hose timer 2. And we don't have a flow rate because it wasn't hooked up. We've never done the calibration on this one yet. So it's not going to have a flow rate until we hook it up and run water through it. I'll show you that in a second. But we can create a program now. So now we can do program name. We'll call it B program. Oops. Give the start time. Now we can pick a zone, and we can tell it for how long we want it to run. And we can give it when to run, and save, and home. Now it shows us that our B program will begin watering at 6:30 p.m. tomorrow on hose timer 2. So we can let's see if we can disconnect that. Now it sees it on the Wi-Fi. Just took it a minute to get there. So B-hyve, we can switch to timer 1, A program at 4:45. So now we can switch back and forth. So now I'm on 2. So if I come back to settings and devices, I can see all my devices again. I have hose timer 2, demo hub 1, hose timer 1. I can see my device groups. So I have my demo hub 1 group, and that'll show me what's in there. I have hose timer 1, hose timer 2. Okay. And that's pretty much it. Alright, now I'm hooking up this new timer that we just added. Turn it on, get a little burst. Alright, so let's do the calibration. Alright, so now that we have this new one hooked up, we're going to do the calibration for that, just to show you. So actually zone 1, we're on host tab 2. Let's do the recalibrate the flow rate. Actually, I'm going to go back to Bluetooth for host timer 2, the one that we just hooked up. Okay, now that we have our connection Bluetooth to the host tap, I'm going to do the recalibration of the zone, because we never got the flow rate the first time because it wasn't hooked up when we set it up. So I'm going to do recalibrate and next, and say run the test. Alright, so you probably noticed a little bit of a lag there, the delay. From the time that I said test, the timer already started ticking down. And by the time it had run out of program, it was still running. So the timer still ran for the 20 seconds. But the way it works is the valve is latched open. So the batteries have to charge the capacitor, get enough energy to open and lock that latch. And then the batteries let the charge off, the capacitor discharged. When it's time to close it, it has to charge back up and unlatch it to close it. So we don't hold it open because that would drain the battery way too fast. So that's what that delay is, and that's all okay. Say next. So now we have a flow rate of 8 gallons per minute is what we measured on that. Now, when we set up programs, I want to show you this. Actually, edit. Yeah, there it is. So now when we set up programs, you'll notice that we don't only have minutes and seconds and hours here, you have gallons. So you can see how many gallons that's going to take to run for 19 minutes. If you were to run that for 30 minutes, that's 240 gallons. But you never knew that. So you can jump that all the way up to an hour. If you were to let that run for an hour, you're at 478 gallons, 526. So that's really pretty cool. With the flow set, you can see how many gallons of water you're going to put down.